Neha, you are the co-host now.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Is my screen visible? Hello. Excuse me, sir. Am I audible?
You're audible, but the screen clearly is not visible, Neha.
So it's due to network, sir.
Okay, then you can continue. So it's waiting. Yeah, it's clearly visible now.
A very good afternoon to the respected principal, sir, Ansuman, sir, and my dear mates. My name is Neha Singh. I am from Department of Computer Science and Engineering, third year. Today, I am here to discuss about the Election Commission of India. So is my slide visible?
Yeah, it is visible. It's very clearly visible.
The second slide, sir.
No, the second slide is not visible. Yeah, it's now, I think you're doing slide sharing. Yeah, slide share,
It's
it's
now full
on.
screen.
Yeah, second slide is visible. Yeah, it is visible.
Yes, sir. Okay, first of all, I would like to introduce what is the Election Commission of India. The Election Commission of India is an independent government body which conducts fair and free election as per the Constitution of India. It was set up on 25th January 1950. 3 years after the independence of our country, which was in 1947. Part 15 of the Constitution of India consists of the articles on elections, how the elections to be held and the process of the elections. The article 324 to 329 tells us about the various ways of conducting our elections and the ways of casting vote. The article 326 of the Constitution of India tells us about the universal adult franchises, which is right to vote. The right to vote is our constitutional right, not a fundamental right. It's lagging so much. The second is, what are the elections that are held by the Election Commission of India, the ECI? The parliamentary election, the Raj Sabha election, Rajya Sabha election, the State Assembly election, Vidhan Sabha election, the presidential elections, election of the president and the vice president. So we might think that most of all the elections are held by the ECI, but during the 73rd and 74th Amendment Act of the Constitution of India, the concept of panchayat and municipality were introduced, whose elections are held by the State Election Assembly. The composition of Election Commission of India. Election Commission of India is a multi-member body which consists of 3 members, the Chief Election Commissioner and 2 Electional Commissioners. The present Chief Election Commissioner of India is Sunil Arora and the Chief Election Commissioner is Rajiv Kumar and Sushil Chandra. Next. The appointment and tenure of commissioners. The President appoints the Chief Election Commissioner and Electional Commissioners. They have 6-year tenure or up to the age of 65, whichever is earlier. They enjoy the same status and salary as per available to the Judge of the Supreme Court of India. The election commissioners or the chief election commissioner can only be removed through the impeachment by the parliament. Next, I would like to explain this short timeline, which is very important in the history of India and on the perspective of election. The Election Commission of India was introduced on 25th January 1950. From 1950 to 1989, the Election Commission was a single body which only consists of the Chief Election Commissioner. But on 16 October 1989, it was changed from a single body to a multi-body. But very shortly, from the period of 1989 to 1990, it was again converted into a single body. Due to the overload of work, a single member could not look over the elections all over the India, all over the country. So it was again converted into a multi-member body. A small fun fact, I would like to ask all the attending members, what is the ink which is applied on our finger after we vote? The blue ink that is applied called. Anyone who would like to volunteer for the answer?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Anyone? Principal sir, would you like to answer?
No idea, Masari. It is a non-erasable ink, but I'm not very particular about the chemical composition.
Actually, it has a particular name which is only manufactured by one company in India and sold to 20 nations all over the world. It is known as indelible ink, the identity of voting.
Wow.
Thank you so much, sir. Next, I would like to ask Chandradeep Prasad for his presentation. Over to you, Chandradeep. Chandradeep, are you there?
Chandradeep, can you hear us? We are waiting. Chandradeep, shall I make you the co-host? Chandradeep, you are the co-host now. I think there is some technical error. Then shall we move on? Satyam, can we hear from you?
Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, Chandradeep, you are audible.
Oh, I think from that time I'm audible and the sound was not coming. So sorry for that. I'm ready, sir.
Yeah, please then start.
I can carry on after Satyam if he has started.
Okay, then Satyam, you please carry on.
Yeah.
Chandradeep, I am playing your slide, so I think you should carry
Okay,
on.
yeah. I'm ready. Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon to my respected principal sir and Anshuman sir and all my friends. Tomorrow, India is going to celebrate its 72nd Republic Day on 26 January 2021, of course, to mark the first revolution against the British regime. On this day, Indian Constitution was adopted in 1950 after attaining the independence on August 15th August 1947. And as Anshuman sir addressed that we are like before we have celebrated Christmas and Diwali and whatnot on an online platform. So I think in India, Republic Day is not less than a festival. The whole country, regardless of caste, creed, religion, beams with joy. On this day, the entire country is laced in three colors to convey that India is a nation where unity is diversity in and celebrated. Like when we were kids, when we were small and we were in school, we used to present speech on Republic Day, and it was very it's a very nostalgic thing for me. And even in college, I'm doing this on an online platform. So I am going to present this through presentation. And what is the significance of Constitution of India? The Constitution of India is the supreme law of India. It imparts constitutional supremacy and not parliamentary supremacy, as it is not created by parliament but by a constituent assembly and adopted by its people with a declaration in its preamble. It was adopted by the Constituent Assembly on India on 26 November 1949 and became effective on 26 January 1950. The Constitution replaced the Government of India Act 1935 as the country's fundamental governing document, and the Dominion of India became the Republic of India. Next slide, please. So here are the timeline of the important historical event of Constitution of India. First event was 26th August 1947 when committee was established. Drafting committee established to prepare a draft constitution under the chairmanship of B.R. Ambedkar. After almost 3 years of deliberation on this day, 72 years ago, Indian constitution was put in effort. Second event was 6 December 1947. On this day, Constitution Assembly formally convened for the first time following election to start the process of writing a constitution. And third is 4th November 1948. On this day, our draft was finalized and submitted. And between the period of 1948 to 1949, Constituent Assembly meets in session open to the public. Fifth event is 26 November 1949. On 26 November 1949, Constituent Assembly adopts find a draft making it's official. And we all know what's on 26 January 1950. It's our Republic Day when the so sorry, I'm stumbling a lot because I'm presenting after a long time. That's why. And here are some interesting facts about Constitution of India. The Constitution wasn't typed or printed, rather it was handwritten by Prem Bihari Narayan and was published in Dehradun and photolithographed by the Survey of India. The Indian Constitution is often called a bag of borrowings. Why it called bags of borrowings? Because our Constitution is the longest Constitution throughout the nation. So on the earth, it's the biggest Constitution. It has it has borrowed many rules from different countries, like from Japan and France and of course England. Each page of the Constitution was decorated by artists from Shanti Niketan. And further, we will see the decoration also. Next slide, please. And here are the key peoples who. So sorry, I think my slide is not edited. Because choose 3 leaders for Black History Month. Here it's supposed to be Constitution of India. So sorry for that. And here are the key people who are associated with the Constitution of India. First is B.R. Ambedkar, who were the chairman of drafting committee. B.N. Rao, who were the constitutional advisor, and I mentioned in my previous slide Prem Bihari Narayan Raizada, who wrote the Indian Constitution, handwritten in Hindi and in English as well. Next slide, please. And here are some art and literature, and we can see the, I mentioned the handwritten, it's in English and Hindi as well. And I told about the artwork on Constitution. By each page was decorated by the artist from Shanti Niketan. The bottom image is the decoration by Shanti Niketan people. And at last, I would like to wrap up my presentation to the preamble, which goes like, we the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitution India into a sovereign socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to present my views on this day.
Thank you so much, Chandradeep, for your
So much, Neha.
presentation. It was really a good one, and we learned a lot. Next, I would like Satyam to go on with his presentation. Over to you, Satyam.
Good morning to one and all present here. I am Satyam Mishra from Computer Science and Engineering Department, third year, and I am here to present on relations between the Election Commission of India and Constitution of India. As Neha said, the part 15 of the Indian Constitution, Article 324 to 329, consists of articles on election. The 324 belongs to the Election Commission of India. Neha, next slide, please. Why the Election Commission of India was formed, established before the acceptance of Constitution of India. The Election Commission of India was established on 25th January 1950, and the Constitution of India was established on 26th January 1950. After the independence in 1947, it took almost 3 years to draft the Constitution of India, and the Constitution of India was formed with a democratic vision. And as far as the democracy is concerned, one of the main features that a democratic country has is a right to vote, to choose your own representative. And that is the reason why the Election Commission of India was formed before the effectiveness of Constitution of India, to ensure the citizens of this young nation can exercise their right to vote. Next slide, please. Yeah, next slide. On 26th January 1950, the day our Constitution was adopted, is celebrated as Republic Day. Neha, next slide. Why do we celebrate? As my friend Chandradeep said, this is regarded as one of the most important dates in the history. It honors the date on which the Constitution of India came into effect on 26 January 1950, reflecting the Government of India Act as the governing document of India and turning the nation into newly formed republic. This year, we celebrate 72nd Republic Day. During these 72 years, our nation has seen many hardships, undergone many changes. Now, let me share something which is not at all coincidental. On 24th January 1950, our national anthem was adopted. On 25th January 1950, the Election Commission was formed. And on 26th January 1950, the Republic Day is celebrated. Our nation, step by step, became a republic from an independent nation. And I'm sure we are all very proud to be a part of this nation. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Thank you. That's all from my side. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, sir.
So, DI ma'am is also here. Good afternoon, ma'am. Welcome and join the session. Thank you so much for joining the session. We have heard Neha, Chandradeep, and Satyam was taking us to the journey of how a democracy is being formed. Thank you. It was a very good presentation. However, the feedback will be from Principal Sir and DI ma'am. We'll move on to the last two presentations. It's a very short presentations. One we will take from Bikal and the other one is Shomendu. Bikal, are you ready? Bikal, can we hear you? Bikal, can we hear you? Do you want me to make you the co-host?
Hello.
Yeah, Bikal.
Yes, sir, I'm ready. So may I start?
Yeah, sure. We are waiting. Please start.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, respected Principal Sir, DI ma'am, Anshuman Sir, and I and my fellow mates. First of all, I would like to start by saying Happy Republic Day in advance. First, I would like to start by saying why do we celebrate Republic Day? We celebrate Republic Day because India adopted its constitution on 26 January, 72 years before. Now, what is constitution? My fellow classmates have already explained it in a very vivid manner, but I'd like to repeat it again. Constitution is a primary set of rules and principles should be governed and how power is distributed. मतलब जो संविधान और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है एक
Because you have unmuted yourself. You have muted yourself. We can't hear you.
So, yes, so I just got disconnected from poor network, sir. Hello?
Yeah, because we can hear you now. If there are technical problems, you can switch off the video and speak quickly. Yeah, because there is some technical problem. We will go back to the last speaker, Shomendu. Let's hear from him. And then we'll try again to Bikal before we request Principal Sir to speak. Shomendu, are you ready? Shomendu? Shomendu, I'm making you the co-host.
Sir, not record, sir. Presentation is not yet, sir. I can give only speech, sir.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Bikal, will you speak now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Shomendu, just hold on. Let Bikal finish it off. Bikal, please quickly finish it.
So my presentation is on State Election Commission. So before that, I will explain on what is State Legislative Assembly. Uh, as there are 28 states, each state has its own state legislative assembly. के पास अपना है. So what is State Legislative Assembly? State Legislative Assembly, जिसे विधान सभा भी कहा जाता है, is a legislative body. Now, legislative body is a group of people who make policies and laws for the state. जैसे हमारा सिक्किम स्टेट है सर, सिक्किम स्टेट में भी एक लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली है. Recently, our legislative assembly has passed a resolution which has included 11 communities as scheduled tribe, including my community also, sir, right? In that legislative assembly, there are members which are called MLAs. So we elect our MLAs every 4 years, sir. जैसे एक सिक्किम स्टेट हो गया और वेस्ट बंगाल भी एक स्टेट है. There it is divided into different constituencies, sir. And a candidate represents us from that constituency. For example, Darjeeling is also a constituency under the West Bengal Legislative Assembly, and there will be a candidate who will represent all of Darjeeling in the elections. So Legislative Assembly is a place where every MLA, all MLAs come and discuss their policies and pass bills for the law for the state, sir. So we elect the members of the State Legislative Assembly. So the agency or the government body which looks after the election is called the State Election Commission. So every state has their own election commission. We have our own state election commission in Sikkim, and people in West Bengal have their own state election commission. As Neha, Chandradeep, and Satyam already explained about, I don't it works under the rules and regulation of the Election Commission of India. I would quickly like to say what are the roles of the State Election Commission. First is it enforces model code of conduct before every election to be followed by the different candidates and parties, so that the decorum of the electoral process is maintained. जो स्टेट इलेक्शन कमीशन है सर, वो ये देखता है कि जो पार्टीज और पार्टीज का कैंडिडेट है वो मॉडल कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट को फॉलो है या नहीं. सेकंड, it creates awareness about changes in stakeholders, functionaries, candidates. Second, जो state है अवेयरनेस फैलाना है among the stakeholders, जो वोटर्स है, जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टी से और जो कॉमन पीपल है, उनमें अवेयरनेस फैलाने के लिए वो सेकेंड रोल है. और थर्ड रोल है कि स्टेट इलेक्शन कमीशन prescribes the limit of the campaign expenditures by the candidates and parties and monitors the spending too. जो थर्ड रोल है जो स्टेट इलेक्शन कमीशन, वो ये देखता है कि वो जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज कितना खर्च कर रहे हैं अपने कैंपेन्स में, और ये भी देखता है कि जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज का कैंडिडेट है वो टाइम में अपना एक्सपेंडिचर्स स्पेंडिंग सबमिट कर रहा है या नहीं वो इलेक्शन कमीशन को. तो इन कंक्लूजन, State Election Commission is a agency or a government body which looks after the state विधान सभा elections. जो विधान सभा election है उसको monitor करता है State Election Commission under the guidance of Electoral Commission of India. Thank you, sir.
Always welcome. Thank you, Bikal, for enhancing us with State Election Commission, and I think gradually it's shaping on how we celebrate Republic Day. Before I call the last speaker, we would like to hear, welcome our Deputy Registrar, sir. Shumantu sir is here. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. Be with us. We have the last speaker before we request Principal sir to speak. So Shomendu definitely is not the definitely the last, but not the least. Shomendu, over to you. Shomendu?
Sir, excuse me, sir. I am not able to on the video
Okay, no problem.
due
You speak.
to poor. Yes, sir. Yes.
I understand. Yes, please speak.
Good afternoon, Honorable Principal Sir, DI Ma'am, and Deputy Subendu Sir, and respected Angsuman Sir, and all my dear friends. My name is Somendu Ghosh, third year CSC from. I am in front of you to deliver a speech on Republic Day. Before moving forward, I would like to wish you all who are present here a very happy Republic Day. Today, we all are joined here to celebrate 72 January 1950. Our country got its constitution. We got our independence on 15th August 1947 from British rule. However, the Constitution of India came into force on 26th January 1950. Since then, we celebrate Republic Day every year. Republic means that the citizen of the country holds the supreme power to elect representatives. Republic Day is the national festival of India. India became a secular and democratic country on this day. Before it, India was a British dominion. It took 2 years, 11 months, and 18 days to draft the Constitution of India. The prime celebration and formal celebration of Republic Day of India happens on the Rajpath in New Delhi. The celebration of Rajpath showcases the defense capability of the country and incredible cultural diversity of India. On this day, many school and college also celebrate Republic Day by unfurling the national flag and singing national anthem Jana Gana Mana. Constitution gives all of us same rights despite and difference of religion, color, or language. In the past 72 years, our country has gone through many changes. The command on the country come into the hands of the people. It spreads the message of equality, brotherhood, unity, and integrity. On this day, India got the status of the republic. Along with lots of development, there are some pitfalls that have also come in the way, like unemployment and corruption has grown up very fast. We should take a place to find solution these problems so that our country become the best place to live on earth, and also have to respect the Constitution of India. Thank you so much, sir. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind. Thank you so much, Shomindu. We would
Thank you,
now like to request Principal Sir to enhance us with a speech and also sort of feedback on what the students spoke.
Thank you, Ansman. Mr. Sumanto Nag, Deputy Registrar, Dr. Papri Kose, HOD CSC, Mr. Ansman Paul, distinguished faculty, my dear students. Yes, sir. My dear students, very good afternoon to all present over here. My special mention to Ms. Nega Singh, Chandradeep, Satyam Mishra, Vikal Roy, and Soumendra Ghosh for their presentation on Constitution of India. I wish you all 72nd Republic Day. I strongly, if somebody has unmuted. Yeah, thank you. I'm really now happy for this wonderful platform organized by students, motivated and organized and supported by Mr. Ansman Paul. I strongly believe in activity-based learning. I always encourage students to come out with some kind of activity, because engineering is 50% academics and 50% curricular and co-curricular activity. So we have to involve ourselves in various curricular and co-curricular activity, and we have to develop various skills which is required for the current industry demand. Therefore, my appeal to all the students over here, you can pass on this message to all your peer groups. And I also appeal to HOD CSC that, please come out with some student club. In my point of view, you can identify student club for second year student, separate student club for second year student, third year student, and final year student. And please encourage students to participate and organize at least one event every month. It need not be only for Christmas celebration or Independence or Republic Day celebration. Every month we have to come out with one theme, especially if you look at the recent articles, AICTE also have they have come out with one student, one tree innovation, promotion. The purpose of AICTE has come out with one student, one tree concept. We are facing temperature rise, global warming in our day-to-day life. If you look at the normal temperature rise of last 100 years, it is nearly touching 0.9 degrees. This is the NASA report. This is the NASA report. So especially in last 50 years, the rate of temperature increase has nearly doubled. So it seems that temperature is rising in a very faster rate. So we have to overcome, or we have to somehow restrict the further temperature rise in order to protect the environment. See, if you look at what are the major causes and reason for this kind of temperature rise, one important reason on the burning the fossil fuel. So we are burning the fossil fuel for electricity. Especially in our country, 75% of the electricity is coming from thermal. So in thermal, we are burning the coal to generate heat. With the help of heat, we are producing electricity. So because of that, because of burning fossil fuel, we are emitting a huge quantity of CO2 to the environment. So there is a small calculation with respect to our electricity consumption and the amount of CO2 emission to the environment. For example, if you want to generate 1 kilowatt hour of electricity, 1 kilowatt hour electricity is equivalent to 1 unit of electricity. Using thermal plant, it will generate, actually exactly it is 0.94 kg of carbon. For calculation purpose, I am taking it as 1 kg. So if you want to generate 1 unit of electricity, then the plant will generate or emit 1 kg of carbon dioxide. But if you look at the total India electricity consumption, it is around 1,450 terawatt hour. The total electricity consumption of our India is 1,450 terawatt hour. 1 terawatt is nothing but 100 crore unit. Just imagine 1 terawatt is equal to 100 crore unit. Therefore, if you divide the total electricity consumption by the population of India, because we have 130 crore population. So if you divide it by our population, and each person are responsible, each person we are consuming 1,100 units of electricity per year. So every citizen is consuming 1,100 units of electricity per year. And to generate 1 unit of electricity from thermal plant, it will emit 1 kg of carbon. So I am using 1,100. Let us take me as an example. I am using 1,100 unit of electricity per year. So 1 kg for every unit, and 75% of the total electricity is from thermal. So if you calculate it, each person is responsible for 675 kg of carbon emission. So I am responsible for 675. You are responsible for 675 kg of carbon emission. So how to balance? So because the temperature rises because of this carbon dioxide emission. So how to reduce this carbon dioxide emission? We have 2 options. The first option, stop using electricity. Is it possible? It is not possible. You can't, avoid electricity consumption. Then the second option would be, better you generate electricity using some other way. Please replace this kind of thermal plant by some other natural resources, like through solar energy, you can generate power, wind energy, you can generate power. So that is one option. So that is policy decision. As a citizen, how to contribute for this environmental. So we have to minimize the carbon dioxide emission, but you can't avoid usage of electricity. So you are emitting 670 70 kg of carbon. So that carbon has to be absorbed somehow, right? So how to absorb carbon dioxide? So tree is the good example. Each tree will inhale carbon dioxide and it will emit oxygen to the environment. So each tree, good grown up, tree can inhale 20 kg of carbon dioxide. Each tree can inhale 20 kg of carbon dioxide, and it can exhale oxygen for a family of 5 members. So in order to absorb 675 kg of carbon, because each person is responsible for 675 kg carbon emission to the environment. So in order to absorb that 675 kg carbon, just divide. Each tree can inhale 20 kg carbon. So if you divide it by 20 kg, it comes around 33 trees. So to consume, to absorb 675 kg of carbon per year, you need 33 trees. So already we have a good number of trees in our country. So based on the article, we have 35 billion trees right now available. The recent surveys says that we have 35 billion trees and our population is 130 crores. That is 1.3 billion population. So if you divide it, total tree population by human population, so we are having 28 trees per population. 28 trees per citizen. But to balance the carbon dioxide emission, we need 33 trees per person. But right now we have 28 trees. How many shortage we have right now? 5 trees shortage. That's why Government of India has given this idea to AICTE to promote tree plantation among the younger generation. So on this special occasion, my appeal to all the student community over here, please plant at least few plants, but we have to plant at least 5 trees in order to have perfect balance in the atmosphere so that we can avoid further temperature rise. See, our duty is to leave or give good environment to the future generation. The globe is not only for us. Everybody has to utilize this wonderful nature. So we have to leave the good nature to the younger generation. So in order to leave the good environment to the younger generation, as a good citizen, we have to plant at least 5 trees. So my appeal to all of you on the 72nd Republic Day celebration, please plant at least 1 tree in your name and maintain properly so that it will grow in a proper way so that it can absorb good amount of carbon dioxide and emits oxygen for our family. With that, I once again wish everybody a happy Republic Day, 72nd Republic Day. And I once again, appreciate all the student volunteers and organizers for having this kind of virtual meet. I wanted to meet you all. At least, every week I wanted to meet you all in virtual mode to have a fruitful discussion. Please come out with different kind of themes. And before this meeting, you can also give me some themes so that I will also come out with some innovative, kind of presentation. It is like, exchanging our ideas. There is no age for learning. So I'm also learning from you. You will also get some input from me. So today Neha has given some new input regarding that ink, inedible ink. So that's how we are learning. It is like, exchanging our ideas. So please continue this kind of activity on a regular basis. So please have a discussion after this meeting. Please have a discussion with your faculty mentor, your HODs. and promote some good student club activities. Through that club activity, involve other students, because today's participation is very less. I want all the students to be actively involved in this kind of forum, because always we are giving more priority to our physical attendance. So attendance is part and parcel of our university procedure, but we have to have some kind of active learning and active participation for our benefit as well as for our peer groups. With that, I will move on to the announcement of the winners, because I think you have done a wonderful activity during the Christmas celebration. Civil department has come out with the celebration, and you have come out with another kind of celebration. So based on your participation and based on your commitment, we have selected a few awards and few rewards to encourage you to continue the same in the future event as well. And once again, I congratulate your faculty coordinator, Mr. Ansuman Paul, for constantly, conducting this kind of activity for the benefit of the student. I wish you all best of luck for your future endeavors. And with that, I will announce the results of Christmas celebration. And based on the input given by the faculty and your participation, this has been given. And after this program, you will get the certificate through your registered mail ID. The best anchor goes to Ms. Nega Singh, third year CSE department. Congratulations, Nega Singh. And best event manager, it goes to Mr. Pechwal Chetri, third year CSE student. If my pronunciation is wrong, please.
Because he's not here, so it's okay.
Yeah. And best facilitator and publicity manager goes to Mr. Satyam. Very active person in continue the same. Especially Nega Singh and Satyam, I could see you all in various event. And best orator, welcome Roy, third year CSE, but today he could not able to deliver his best due to some technical glitches. But however, congratulations to Vakal Roy. And technical designing, Tirthankar Chakravarti, the designing was very excellent. And for appreciation for sense of humor goes to Chirandan Mishra of and short video making, Palomi, first year CSE, and Payal Mantal of first year CSE. And Chandrima Thakur, Ritika Tamang, and Biswajit Dev Burman, they are also getting appreciation certificate for their concept. Congratulations to all the winners and participants. Please come out with a good activity and try to identify some clubs. And not only that, recently we have established the new council, Innovation Institution Innovation Council. It is coming under MHRD's education initiative. And I think so far 60 students from various departments have done their registration. They've also given their the expected role in this IIC council. And in consultation with respective department HODs, I will select the office bearers for Institution Innovation Council. So every month we will also have some kind of activity under this banner. See, one of the important activity we are going to have it soon under Institution Innovation Council, that is idea contest. So you need not do anything. You please present your idea. Please think about it and come out with idea for future technology in this concept. We are planning to have like that. For CSE department, you can have coding club. So through coding club, you can have a small contest, not only for that. Now quiz competition, various events you can organize, not only for your own, for the benefit of your juniors also, you can have a different kind of activity. So please have a discussion with your HOD and come out with a good student club, so that we can have regular activity under student club. That's all from my side. And thank you so much for giving this wonderful opportunity to interact with you all today. Over to Ansuman Pal.
Thank you so much, sir. That was really enhancing, especially for taking care of the environment. Now, Shumanta sir had to leave for some reasons. We would like to hear from our respected DI ma'am, Dr. Papri Ghosh ma'am. Ma'am, please, if you can address the gathering, and then we will take a photo shoot. Please switch on your video after ma'am speaks. Ma'am, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
A very good afternoon to our respected principal, sir, Dr. Nagarajan, sir, our respected Deputy Registrar, Mr. Shumanta Nag, sir, and Mr. Respected Anshuman, sir, and beloved students. I'm very happy to see you all in this platform. We are here basically for two different programs. One is pre-Republic Day celebration, and another one is the prize distribution ceremony. The way Anshuman sir has punched both the program in a single platform, it is very much appreciable. And before the celebration of the Republic Day, we must have some basic information about it. So I think that this platform provides such opportunity to all of us. Though a little bit of technical problem was there, I found, but still I have enjoyed a lot the presentation given by Neha, Chandradeep, Satyam, Vikalp, and Shomendu. It was very nice presentation, and I salute the spirit and enthusiasm of today's program, all the participants, and the presentation reflects the great sense of humor of all the presenters. So all the presenter did a wonderful job, and I found the talk to be very highly informative. So now I transfer the mic to Mr. Anshuman sir. I want to transfer my mic to our respected Deputy Registrar sir, Shumanto Nag sir, for his valuable feedback. Over to you, Shumanto sir.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, but sir came to my room, so had some work, so had to leave.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
extremely
okay. So
sorry for
I
that.
thought Shumanto sir was there, so I.
No, that's okay, ma'am. Sir came here and so personally said sorry to all of you for not being.
Another thing I want to.
Oh, sir is there. Sir is there. Sir, can we hear something from you, Shumanto sir?
Shumanto sir is there?
Yeah, ma'am, sir is there.
Okay.
So, can we hear something from you? So, are we audible?
His mic is muted, I think.
Yes, sir. Shumanto sir, your mic is mute. Yes.
Shumanto sir is there?
Yes,
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Mhm.
Yes.
I think
Yes,
there
sir.
is some technical error. Hello?
Yeah, I just joined in between. Actually, there was some calls that had come, so I had to attend to that. Good morning, principals.
I think there is some technical error.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can
Anshuman
complete.
sir,
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Sir, we can hear you. Hello. Okay, by the meantime, let's complete the photo shoot. Can all of you switch on your video? Nayan,
Anshuman sir.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, sir.
I think there are some technical error. Shumanta, sir, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. We are waiting to hear something from
Hello.
you. Yes, sir.
Okay, actually, anyway, sir, although a very good morning to, in fact, it's too late to say good morning, but since it's the first time we are meeting like for today, so I think I take the privilege of wishing everybody a very good morning, and of course a very good day also ahead. Okay, a very good morning to Principal Sir and Papri ma'am out there and Anshuman sir, of course my dear students out there of CSE third year. And actually, I came to know from Anshuman sir that once such an event is getting organized, and the topic was also very apt. Since tomorrow we are having the 72nd Republic celebration out here, and I think this time, yes, we are also having in the parade delegates, not delegates rather, teams coming from even countries like Bangladesh and all. So I got to hear a little bit of what Somendu had to say. I didn't get the opportunity to listen to others, but nonetheless, one very, very important fact that I was listening to Principal Sir is that when we organize such kind of events, right? It actually builds in us a different kind of a quality. And by the way, I also, there are there are one or two things, Vikalp was speaking, right, sir? Prior to Somendu?
Yes, prior to
So
Shomendu,
Anshuman
Vikalp
sir,
was
was
speaking.
it Vikalp?
Yes, sir. Yes, Vikalp was speaking.
Yes. I just had a feeling that when Vikalp towards his end, I just heard only the last portion of his speech. So towards his end, he had to he had to express himself in Hindi. And yes, why not? Sometimes it also happens that there are many of students who may not find it very, very comfortable expressing themselves. Always English, right? Of course, we can always ask them to do so, but at times we should also give the opportunity if they can speak up in their own mother tongue, and maybe we'll come up with fantastic ideas. We normally are not able to gauge everybody properly. So that was a good sign. I like it. Okay, don't take it as sometimes if this is a at all, then you should be feeling that you had to express some of your contents in Hindi. I think that will also be taken by. So that's my request, right? So this is there. Yes, this kind of activities will definitely improve a lot of quality. And as Sir has so was mentioning, like if we actually go by the conventional way of producing electricity, right? Just taking the clue from there. So taking that clue from there, I also feel if we just focus only on books, as Sir was saying that 50% is books and 50% is co-curriculum. If we just focus on books, then I don't think so we can actually make it big. So when we blend our learning and experience with things like events like this, right? So we become strong, not only theoretically, we also become very strong, practically, and we also become very pragmatic. I think that's all what I, wanted to convey. And whatever little bit I could hear from the entire conversation, a little bit of Sir's speech and a little bit of Somendu and Vikalp. So with all those things, this is what I could gather. And I wish you all the very best. And honestly, let me tell you all, this entire bunch of CSE students of third year, you all are doing a fabulous thing. Shaped up during this pandemic and ongoing pandemic, everything that has shaped up, right? You have been the ones who have acted as a motivator, not only for us, but I'm sure for everybody else, right? No matter whether people are following you or not, you know that this is what is supposed to be done and you all are going ahead with this, okay? It speaks really volumes about you and the character that you all have as a unit. You really possess a very, very strong character as a unit, as a whole unit, okay? That's the best part of the story, okay? Congratulations once again, and all the best in each and every endeavors that you have. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to come and see you and allowing me to see something. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. We'll do the photo shoot, but as Shumanta sir said, the CSE third year is a fabulous student. I think that's the reason I teach only in CSE third year. Jokes apart, Anyhow, let's switch on the video. We'll take a photo shoot, but I think I really mean that what sir said. In this pandemic, if I am going on still, I think the credit should go to this group of students of CSE third year. Anyhow, let's please switch on your video, just fraction of a second, I'll take the pictures. Pragya, please switch on your video. Shomendu, please switch on your video. One last, Pragya, can you please switch on your video? Pragya, am I audible to you? Pragya? Okay, I'll take one last one. And thank you so much, Principal Sir. Thank you so much, Shumanta Sir. Thank you so much, Papri Ma'am, for joining us, for enhancing the student, and most importantly, for encouraging the student. And it was really fortunate to listening a group of young Indians who, on the eve of Republic Day, step by step proved out how, rather established how the Indian democracy was formed. So on the eve of 77th Republic Day, I wish you all a very, very happy Republic Day. God bless you all. And thank you once again for everything. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
We're ending up the session then.
Thank you so much, Ansuman sir.
Always welcome, ma'am. I'm ending up the session.